5, 4, 5, 4, 4, 5, something. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, good morning, my friend. Welcome back. So glad that you are here. It's a great freaking day. And I hope you're having a great day. My children are now going to shake their head at me when they watch this and go, Dad, you said that freaking word again. Might have to skip that part. Oh, it is a wonderful day, man. It is a wonderful day. I hope you're having a wonderful day. It's a little overcast today, a little kind of in the sky, but even that has its own beauty. Like the live oaks over there are just, they have that kind of rich late winter green. It's really pretty against the pale sky. And man, this morning and yesterday morning, the birds were just songs galore, which was a wonderful contrast to the hissing, snarling cats that were fighting earlier this morning. It's just beautiful, man. It's just beautiful. And it's nice enough now, even right now, in this moment, I'm not going to show you because you don't need to see my toes, but I'm barefoot in the grass and with my back against a tree. Like, let's go. All my favorite things happening right now. If you haven't yet, get outside, get barefoot, take your shoes off, walk around in the yard. It's good for the soul. But enough of that. Cool things going on in the studio. I had the honor and privilege this week of delivering one of my icons to the bishop of our diocese, and that was awesome. You know, and it's not just that it was the bishop, it's not just somebody that whose leadership I appreciate, but it was just getting to see somebody receive a piece of my art and treasure it. Like even just the fact that he used those words, I will treasure this. It nourishes the soul, and it makes all of those countless hours spent alone in my studio working at the end of a work day, after everybody else has gone to do their own things or the kids are in bed, like it makes all of those lonely hours worth it. 100% worth it. It's a good way to spend some time if you're an artist, and I love it. So I'm excited for that. Of course, moving on to the next thing, I have another icon in the works that I'm very excited about, and then I've got a couple of people that have already reached out and asked for an icon of their own for their family and possibly for a parish. So that's been really good. I'm doing a watercolor piece right now. It's a forest piece, and I already love it. And the funny thing about it is, like, I turned it over because I did a piece that I was trying. It was an experiment, and I got about two-thirds of the way through it. There's a car alarm. Still going. There we go. I got two-thirds of the way through this piece, and I just did not like it. And everything in me wanted to walk away. But I pushed through for several days, worked on it anyways, and then got to a point where I was like, I just can't do this anymore. So I flipped it over, and I don't normally do that, but this was an expensive piece of watercolor paper, and it was worth trying. And so now I'm working on this piece. It's an Irish forest, and it's really a celebration and an appreciation, like paying honor to the Irish Catholics in the 16th and early 17th century, who suffered incredible persecution and refused to give up on celebrating the Mass. So this piece is an homage to that, and when it's finished I'll show you, man. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's always fun to make things. But enough of studio updates. Let's talk about what we are here to talk about today, which is food.
Do I have something in my teeth?
I love me some food, man. There was a point in my life where I was a fat kid. Yep, it's true. I ate me a whole bunch of really good food that is really terrible for your body. And by really good, I just mean it was pleasurable on the palate for a few minutes and very, very not pleasurable in the stomach. But I want to talk about food specifically, like what do I eat that makes me feel good that you might want to try. You know, last week I talked about don't go vegan, and I 100% hold to that. And I'm still waiting to see what happens in the comment section. So if you haven't seen that video and you haven't commented yet, go do that, because I'm kind of hoping it starts a little bit of a food battle. And I like that because I want people to argue about food so that we can get to a good place of what works, and we can flesh out ideas, and we can really think through what we believe. So if you haven't checked out the Don't Go Vegan video, go check that out. It's a good one. But today I want to talk more on the positive side. What are some things that I eat that over the years I have found to be staples in my nutritional system that I think are worth trying? And I'm going to do that by just breaking down daily food. So as I talked about in the fasting video, I do a roughly 15+ hour fast. And then I break that fast with my first meal of the day. And the first meal of the day is oatmeal with blueberries, some toasted unsalted almonds, a little bit of organic coconut flake, some honey, and just a tiny sprinkling of the highest quality dark chocolate chip that I can find. Because dark chocolate's great. Let's just be real. Dark chocolate was made to be eaten. Now, if you overconsume it, sure, now you're into a problem with too much sugar in the system. But just a few, just a little sprinkling of chocolate chips in the oatmeal is amazing. And I eat that 5 days a week. The weekends I'm a little bit more, Sunday I do a really long fast, so I don't even have that first meal of the day. Saturday is family day, family cartoon, dad makes pancakes. Yes, that's how it should be. So 5 days a week I eat my oatmeal. There's a lot of benefits to blueberries and almonds, and you're gonna find blueberries are a staple in my daily rotation. The benefits of blueberries, I just can't emphasize enough. Now, the whole YouTube requirement, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, but I am a dude that's been intentionally orchestrating my food for a long time. So it would be worth noting. Blueberries are amazing. I do a lot of flash frozen blueberries from the frozen section. The nice thing about frozen fruit is that it's caught at the peak of its ripening. It's right at the peak of its nutritional value, and then frozen, so all of that's sealed in there, and that's really good. It's a freaking lawnmower going down the street. No, just kidding. Food truck again. Anyway, so that's my first meal of the day. I really like that. It works for me. Second meal of the day is meat and fruit. And I've done the full carnivore and I've done the full vegan, and I've done both for a long time. I don't think either of them by themselves works for me. Now, I will say there's a lot of anecdotal evidence out there, Jordan Peterson being one of the great champions and his daughter Michaela, that the carnivore diet works. And if you can make it work, I hear really good things. It's just hard for me. In 2025, meat is expensive. And I've got kids and I gotta make sure that they're fed. And it's just hard to do. So I'm doing kind of if you were gonna label my nutritional system, it's like keto plus. Because I put grains in there that keto doesn't. But I find that they work for me and they work really well. So second meal of the day, lunchtime, I do typically a ground meat or a chicken breast. That's usually cooked in either extra virgin olive oil or in a good slab of quality like Kerrygold butter. Salt, a little bit of lemon pepper, and that's it. It's just ground meat and fruit, usually oranges. And I eat the meat cold. I cook it the night before and I eat it cold. That's not for any nutritional benefit. That's actually more of an ascetical practice. I try to do some things every day to make me uncomfortable or to do things that are unpleasant specifically for my spiritual growth. And eating my lunch cold, it's not great, but it's good for me. So that's second meal of the day. Midday, after, you know, an hour or two after lunch, I've usually had a cup of rooibos tea with a little bit of honey. And then I have my one snack of the day, and that is blueberries with pecans and a little bit of honey. I eat that 5 days a week. It is the best snack. There's something about it. It's just delicious. Like, it's crazy good. No, nothing. Just blueberries, pecans, and a little bit of honey. Mix that up in a jar. Man, it is tasty morsels. And I eat that with great enjoyment, and I do it every day. Now, I said this is my only snack of the day. One thing that I will add is that if it's been a particularly busy school day and family day and work day, and I get home and I'm feeling a little hangry and dinner's still a couple hours away, I will grab like a handful of salted cashews or pumpkin seeds, you know, some kind of fruit, some kind of nut or fruit or cheese. One of those. And it's just a small portion, just enough to like tamp down the hangry and be a good father. There's a blue jay. Be a good father to my children. So, and then dinner is where I have the most variety. Lunch is always the same, snacks are always the same, first meal of the day is always the same. Dinner is where I have the most variety, but it's predominantly meat, fruit, vegetable, and then a fat. So either extra virgin olive oil, butter, or depending on the week, some bacon fat, because yes. You know, some of my favorite meals that we do, it'll be, you know, a grilled chicken breast, white rice with butter, and a smoothie that I make with kale, blueberries, unsweetened almond milk, a little bit of agave, and sometimes a little extra vegetable in there, like a different leafy green. That's one of my favorite meals. We could, as a family, eat that meal every day. My kids love it, I love it. It's delicious. We do other things that are a variety, but that's, I mean, the staple is meat, fruit, and veg.
Yummy, yummy, thank you.
And then sometimes rice. There's a lot of arguments out there about rice. I'm not a nutritionist. I love rice. I do it 2 or 3 times a week. I feel good after I eat rice. I feel just the right amount of full. I like that little extra carbohydrate. Sometimes it helps me fall asleep better. You know, Andrew Huberman talks a lot about the added value of a starch or a carbohydrate at night because it primes the system for sleep. I found that to be pretty true. So I like rice or fruit and veg. You know, like last night we had grilled chicken, rice, and an oven roasted broccoli. That was amazing. A little too much on the salt, but okay. And I feel primed and ready to go today. Like let's go. So that's, you know, that's my everyday. The weekends, there's a little bit more variety. You know, we try to mix it up a little bit so that the consistency throughout the week works. And what I find is I have the energy I need. My waistline hadn't changed, and I'm not physically training as much as I usually do because it's just the spring is a busier season as an artist and teacher. But I feel good, and that's what I care more about than anything else. I feel good bodily, right? And there's a real difference between I feel good in my palate for a few seconds and I feel good whole body. There's a lot of food I could eat that would be a really great mouth experience, but later I know I'm gonna feel like trash bodily, and I'm gonna be tired, I'm gonna be sleepy. I don't have the midday slump. I have my 1 cup of coffee in the morning, but I'm good to go the whole rest of the day. Driving home, you know, 4:30-ish from the school day, and I have this like 5-minute kind of like, oh, and then I get home and I feel fine, and I'm good to go, and I do all the things. And then I crash when it's time for sleep. But I've noticed in this way of eating, which is predominantly meat-based with fruit and vegetable and a small portion of a grain, whether it's oatmeal or rice, that's usually about it, that works for me. And it works well. And I notice that I have the energy I need to do the lots of many things that I do. Because I do, as my daughter says, lots of many things. I hope that helps, because I hope it gives you a grid for like, okay, if I could incorporate these things. I find that the simplicity of the way I eat, there's not a whole lot of variety, and I'm good with that. It makes my life easier. I prep a handful of things, I eat those all week, boom, I'm done, and I can focus my mind on all of the creative things I want to do and the students that I work with. That's great. I don't eat the snack crap. I don't eat the goldfish. I don't eat the wheat thins. I don't eat the chocolate bars and the pastries and all that crap that you find all over the place, like the teaching lounge. It's just not for me, you know? It doesn't make me feel good, so I'm not going to eat it. I'm more interested in doing the work I have to do than I am in eating a little salty snack that might taste good for a few minutes and take away from my creative energy later. It's not for me. I hope that helps. I would love to see in the comments, what are the things that you're eating that make you feel good? Like, is there a particular fruit that you find yourself going back to every day? Is there, a way of cooking chicken or ground turkey or beef that you find particularly nourishing? What are those things that you're doing? Leave that in the comments. I want to know. I need ideas. So, hope that helps. Hope you have a great rest of your day wherever you are. It's Flat Cap Friday. Hope you have an awesome day. Until I see you next time, keep climbing.